Welcome to the very first episode of Lights Camera Around for 2024, which we've already got some hot topic news that's happened the past week. And we're going to be telling you the top picks for the movies, TV shows, and video games for this year, so you don't miss a single beat. But before I tell you all that, you know what comes up first.
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
So before we fully dive in, I would also like to say, Lavender, who's come past on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for coming past. Straight off the bat, so appreciate you. But yeah, this is the very first episode for 2024, which I can't honestly how quickly Christmas, New Year's has passed, and last year was such a really big year in film and TV shows, and now it's to look onto the horizon. So I do hope that everyone who's listening or watching come with a journey with me this year. This is going to be a big year for LCR. We've got a lot planned. We've got new guests arriving, and we've got some surprises. We've got some surprises coming later on, which I can't tell you. You said my name wrong, but Lavender. I'm probably butchering it. Every single time I say it, man. I'm so sorry. But I do like your new logo and I do like your new name, man. But again, thank you for coming past. That's all right. We've got so much coming out this year, and we're hopefully, as I said, it's like the smell of the. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense. I'm just an idiot. That makes it more sense. It's like the smell or the flower. Of course it is. So definitely please come for the journey with everybody this year, because it's going to be a big year, and I can't wait to tell you more news later. And we got 51 weeks of the year left, and this year it's going to be interesting this year, and I'll dive into that a little bit later. But let's just talk about the latest news past week first, and then let's dive in a little bit more. So I did mention this on I did post a video about this yesterday on my TikTok, is that Stephen Yeun is currently out as Sentry in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie from Marvel. So basically the plot for Thunderbolts is going to be Suicide Squad versus Superman, Sentry being Marvel's Superman. Now, he has come forward in a recent interview and a post saying the fact he has to leave the project due to scheduling conflicts. Now, this is no surprise because of the fact that everything has been delayed, thanks to, of course, COVID, and because of the strikes that happened late last year. So everything has been pushed back. Everything has been pushed back. That's all good, man. Thank you that's all good. If you come back, I'll see you in a second. Appreciate you. But yeah, everything's been pushed back. Dune got pushed back. Thunderbolts has been. There's 14 movies that didn't come out last year that were meant to. They get pushed back. I did a couple of numbers the other day, and I was like, holy shit, that is a lot. So Thunderbolts being one of those. Now, unfortunately, it does suck that he has had to leave the project because from I think it wasn't Bucky. It was from, I can't remember which one of them, said that they're about to go into filming very soon, in the next month or two, which unfortunately, I guess that's not going to be happening. So now Marvel's going to be in a mad dash to find their new Sentry. Now, my number one pick to replace him, which is a pipeline dream. It probably won't happen, but you never know in Marvel, Hollywood, you never know, but is Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill would be the perfect person to replace him and play Sentry. Not because of Superman, but because you've seen him play that character before, but you get to play as Superman that's a bit more evil and see what it's like. So I'd be really, really excited if it was going to be Henry Cavill, but I doubt it. But now, unfortunately, another hit for Marvel is it's going to be a mad dash to see who's going to be the replacement, who's going to be right for the role. Can you sign up? Can he go and get right straight into filming straight away? Now, this I had to bring up. I could not believe it when I saw this. And look, if you have kids, I have the perfect ABC book that's coming out this year that you're going to love. So don't know why, don't know who's going to greenlit this, or who said yes, but we are getting it because you know what we need this year? We need an Aliens kids book of your ABCs, and that is correct. A is for Alien is an ABC book that's coming out this year based on the Alien franchise. You know, the one that's with the face huggers, the space horror, the bloody murder and horrible and horrific things. Yeah, that one. That's getting a kid's book, and it's going to be an ABC book for kids. As soon as I saw this, I was like, I have to bring this up. Yeah. So you're pretty much. I haven't seen the pages for this book, but yes, you're probably going to traumatize your kids because they're like, oh, you know, this is cool. How about we watch the movie? How about not? How about we don't watch the movie because I don't know how old you are. And it's even funnier is because we're actually getting a new Alien movie later this year. Romulan, I'm pretty sure it's called. That's coming out later this year in the later half of the year. So, you know, go watch the movie, pick up the kids' book. What could go wrong? Now, what could terribly go wrong? That was a really good segue. I didn't mean to do that, but that was really good on my part. Another thing that could go wrong is the fact that Mickey Mouse has entered the public domain as 1st of January. And since that 1st of January, we have a brand new Mickey Mouse horror game that is arriving that is called Infestation 88, which is going to be released later this year. And we've also got a Mickey Mouse horror film that is coming out. It's coming out later this year in March. So very much like what was it called? What was it called? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Same thing, horror flick. There's a trailer out now. It looks insane. Same as the video game, completely separate, but we're going to give it. And speaking of Blood and Honey, we're getting a sequel to that Winnie the Pooh horror movie that is also coming out this year. Oh wow, that's insane, man! I'm going to come out. By the way, I'm going to come out next year as Blood Moon, aka I Am Real Life. That's insane, man. But that's gonna be cool. But yeah, Mickey Mouse, public domain. So go nuts, ladies and gentlemen, on what kind of weird and wonderful things you can do with Mickey Mouse. But horror flick, horror video game on the horizon. Now, this is also, I keep forgetting this movie is in development, but yes, there is a Minecraft movie that's coming out in April 2025. And not only is Jason Momoa starring it and Emma Myers from Wednesday, Jack Black has now joined the cast for the movie as well. There is very little plot details for this movie. Jack Black is playing a character called Steve, but how I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go out. So if this is going to be something like, Lego Movie or Super Mario Movie, is it going to be something like that where it's just going to be this massive hit? But Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Emma Myers, I'm not saying no. They're all outstanding actors. How we're going to see in this is going to be terrific. But I know you've all been clamoring for a Minecraft movie, so it is on the way, and it's about to be just a year away. Now, this is also another big rumor that's been floating around for the past year, but we've got a little bit more of a concrete, still not concrete, but getting a little bit more of a rumor mill, is that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be arriving this year. It was reported that apparently there was a Nintendo Switch Pro that was currently in the works, but however, that's been morphed into Nintendo Switch 2. And the rumor is it will roughly be about the $400 to $500 mark, opposed to the Xbox and the PlayStation, which we all know how much that was. Yay for getting that, which it's funny because the PlayStation 5 Slim is going to be coming out this year as well. But you know, my question is: are you excited for the Nintendo Switch 2? What do you want to see in it? What don't you want to see in it? At the same time, are you going to invest in Nintendo Switch 2, or are you just going to buy a Steam Deck, which is just a juiced up version? And let alone what kind of hardware are we going to get with the Nintendo Switch, which is going to be in line with the new PlayStation Xbox in the hardware capabilities. You nearly can play any game on Nintendo Switch at the moment, but is there obviously, that was a silly question. There is going to still be a hardware gap between them, but then once the specs get released for this, it'd be very curious to see what's going to be under the hood and see if how much that gap is still wide or still low. But look, that's the biggest news that's happened the past week. I want to dive in to the top movie picks, TV show picks, video picks that you need to keep aware of for this year. And it's funny, actually. I was looking at this slate and I was like, this is really weird. And the reason why I'm saying this is really weird is because for 2020, last year, we got 3 Marvel films and 4 DC films. This year, we're getting 1 Marvel movie, 1 DC film that's not connected to anything, and 4 Marvel TV shows and 1 DC TV show. So basically, 2024 is looking to be the least minimal superhero year that we've seen in years. So I know there will be a lot of people going, it's about time. That's really good. Superhero films have flooded everything. Yes, I understand there's a lot of them, but it's going to be, I feel it's going to be really, very refreshing to have this gap, because the last time we had a Marvel movie, only 1 Marvel movie come out in 1 year, was Thor 2 back in 2010 or 2011. We only got the 1 Marvel movie. And I remember that it coming out because I was really clamoring for the next year. I was like, come on. Actually, it was 2011 because 2012 we got Cap and we got Avengers. So I was like, oh my God. And then next year we've always going back to the 3 Marvel movies. And then we got the DC, 2 DC films next year. And then we got Superman Legacy, but I can't remember what the second one is. But for anyone who's saying that, there's too much superhero films, don't you worry. This year is looking to be the least superhero film year that we've seen in a very long time. Now, the picks I've got for you is the top picks for the top movie picks is coming at number 10 is Kung Fu Panda. I cannot wait for that. There's been obviously, that's been a franchise that's gone strength to strength. Again, the Jack Black movie. I forgot before the trailer dropped. I forgot the fact they were making. I forgot that you were making Kung Fu Panda. And yes, I do, sir. I ideally do have merch. Please go check it out. I actually need to add. There's a whole bunch of things I need to add to my merch channel, which I thank you for reminding me. But I do have merch, good sir. Kung Fu Panda 4, which looks to be really good. Next up is, for me, is also number 9 coming is Gladiator 2. This is got Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe is back, and it's really Scott's back for it as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this movie is going to play out for me, because of how Gladiator 1 ended. How's Russell Crowe going to be in this? And he's coming back. But Gladiator 2, which is coming at the end of this year. Next pick is Joker 2, for obvious reasons, which is coming out in October. Don't forget, the reason why I'm really curious about this film is Joker 1 did really well. And the fact that we're getting the sequel is great, but the most thing that I'm like, my curiosity is that it's also reported to be a musical. Now, you did hear me correct. It is meant to be a musical. How that's going to work out, I don't know. Apparently, it's going to be a split between the real world and Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn's mind. So get ready for a Joker musical. Don't you forget that. Next is Dune. Dune, which is coming out on March. Now, as I mentioned, it's going to be delayed. This is going to be part 2. The trailer looks insane. I can't wait for this to come out. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a lot better than what Timothy Chalamet's role in Wonka. But Dune, I know it's so hyped, so I'm really cool. Again, it's big starter cast, but you can't miss it. Everything I've just mentioned so far: Kung Fu Panda, Gladiator, Joker, Dune. You can't miss this. Next up is Furiosa, which Furiosa going into the Mad Max universe, and it's by George Miller, and the fact Chris Hemsworth is going to be in it. Take my money. Take all my money. I'm ready for Furiosa. That is coming out also in March, so I cannot wait for that. May, sorry, it's coming out in May, so I can't wait for that. Just looking for something gritty. It's just a gritty action flick, but hopefully from the trailer that we did see, that the CGI is fixed up just a little bit, which I think we all know what I'm talking about. Now, my top 5 picks for this year. Now, I have one that you could probably send a pitchfork my way, and I understand why. One of my picks is Beyond the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse was amazing. It was great. We got the sequel title, which is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. However, we were meant to get it March this year. Currently, right now, it doesn't have a release date, but as far as I could dig deep, it's still pending for a 2024 release. So I really do hope we do get this film. And they just announced that, it's November or December film. That's fine. They'll still go in crowds. It made nearly $900 million at the box office. So the fans are there. They want it. I hope we do get it this year. But yes, it doesn't have a release date. So it could be pushed back to 2025. And you'd be like, Lee, that was how could you pick that? Because that doesn't actually have a release date. Come fight me. My next pick is Beetlejuice 2, which we're getting the return of Michael Keaton. We're getting oh my god, his name. Tim Burton, sorry, and obviously the debut of Wednesday. She's going to be in this. Jenna Ortega. I'm all for this. I'm ready to dive into the weird and wonderful world of Tim Burton in Beetlejuice. And it's got William Dafoe also going to be in it. So I'm all up for it. Again, take my money. Beetlejuice 2 is coming in September. My next pick is Ballerina. I'm not going to say Beetlejuice 3 times. I'll never know what will come past on this stream. On this episode, sorry. I ain't going to take that chance. My next one is Ballerina. So Ballerina is the John Wick spin-off that's coming out later this year. Now, Ballerina, that's meant to be coming out June. That's it. It's meant to be coming out in June. This is John Wick spin-off. And look, for me, anything in the John Wick universe, take my money. I'm all for it. We get the small glimpse of this world in John Wick 3. So I'm all for this. And it's probably one that's just piqued my curiosity the most of, like, we've heard very little about it and how it's going to be. And who Ana de Armas, I probably butchered her name terribly. You also heard her in the last James Bond film. But it's probably more my curiosity of how this movie's going to be, how brutal is it going to be, and yeah, like, I know Keanu Reeves is meant to be in it, and as far as I know, it's only meant to be a cameo, but I'm super stoked for that. My next pick is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, because the Ghostbusters Afterlife was just so good, and I loved it, and I can't wait to see the sequel. The fact that it's going to be a fresh Ghostbusters story. The trailer, as small as it was, I'm very intrigued by it. And the fact to be in New York, and I think it's also meant to be slightly like Ghostbusters Worldwide. That they're going to be going a little bit international with it. So I'm all down for that. And my number one pick, which I don't think anyone is like, oh my god, I didn't see you going to pick that film, is Deadpool 3, which is essentially going to be Deadpool 3, No Way Home. From the leaked set photos to the being the first R-rated Marvel film, by the rumors that's going into this, the TVA, to me, this is going to be, even though the fact that we're only getting one Marvel movie, Marvel picked the best Marvel movie to come out this year, which is Deadpool 3. This is going to be insane. Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine. He's got the suit. Like, if you don't go see this, even, if you're not a big Marvel fan, if you just like the X-Men films, this is going to be insane. And I've spoken to a lot of people, and everyone's like, Deadpool 3 is my number one pick. And it's still mine. And again, my number, probably more surprising, my number 2 pick is Ghostbusters. But yeah, Deadpool 3, get stuck into that. That's coming 24th of July this year. Currently, right now, I have the Hot Topic movies scheduled live on YouTube. So go hit that. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Go to my channel. If you get 2 seconds, hit that notification button, and so you get notified so when we go live, because the Deadpool 3 episode is usually going to be insane. I can't wait to tell you who's also going to be the guest for it too. Now, let's move on to TV shows. Now, TV shows for me, this is going to be a little bit harder. Then we know these films, we know these TV shows will be releasing this year, but they don't have a definitive release date. For example, Star Wars: The Acolyte. Now, this is going to be set 100 years before Episode 1, The Fall of the High Republic, I do believe. And this is going to be, I'm excited for this because it's going to be Star Wars set in a completely different era of their timeline. It's, like, don't get me wrong, I love the Mandoverse. Don't really like the sequel trilogy at all. That's another topic for another day. But the fact that this is going to be set so far in the past, and the fact that it's going to be new characters and it's just a solid prequel. But that's coming out this year. We don't know when it will be released. But my judging is that we'll probably, because the other pick is Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which is set in the Mandoverse. So I'd say probably Skeleton Crew March roughly, and Acolyte back in October. Very similar to what they did this year. Probably roughly about then. Next for my pick is Marvel Zombies. Now, the reason why Marvel Zombies is my pick because of the fact that this is going to be MA15 plus. So Marvel's pushing the R rated. Most likely this will be under the Marvel Spotlight banner. But I just want to see something darker in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We got the Marvel Zombies episode in What If, and then we also got it very briefly in What If Season 2. But this is going to be, I just want to know what kind of, how this is, what's the story going to be, and what's going to be a story, what's going to be animation, is it going to be a similar style, or it's going to be something completely different, that's right, exactly, darker, like gore, like Marvel's going deep on this Marvel Zombies. As you have a look at the comics, they're darker, they're gory, and that's the direction Marvel's going with this. So I'm very curious how it's going to play out. My next is Agatha, Darkhold Diaries, or Cavern of Chaos, or the other 3 titles that we got for this. 100% darker, like gore. The multiple different titles we got for this. This is coming out this year. Agatha. It was Agatha all along. That song, which we all know was stuck in everybody's head, that is coming out this year. It's a spin-off to WandaVision. We got a small little tidbit in a small little spotlight banner onto it from the WandaVision DVD collection as a special feature. But yeah, Agatha, I'm down. I'm up for more witches. Up for more witches, sorcery, and see what she's been up to. See what she's been up to in this time. How did she survive? How did she become a witch again? Or is it because of the fact the hex goes down? So I'm really curious about that. My next thing is the Fallout TV show that looks insane. Now, yes, from that first trailer, it looks really good. Whether or not the actual content is going to be the same is a different story, but that first trailer has me fully hooked. My second reason why I'm fully hooked on this is because it's been partially written and also directed, at least 2 episodes, is Christopher Nolan's brother. He helped co-create the Dark Knight trilogy, writing it, of course. and Man of Steel. So I'm really down to see how far that will go. And the fact it's having the backing of the Amazon cash cow, it's going to be really good. And I hope it's going to be really good. But my cough. I know. I didn't mean to cough. I just had dinner before I started recording, which is probably a bad idea. But yeah, the Fallout TV show. So Fallout is meant to be is dropping on the 12th of April. That will be coming out. Next. Now, my next picks for this is, now this is going to probably turn a lot of people's heads going, oh my God, why have we picked this? Big Mouth. I've loved Big Mouth ever since the first season. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did choke. I did choke. I did choke, unfortunately. Sorry, it's Big Mouth. So Big Mouth season 8 is coming out this year. I know Big Mouth is one of those shows that you love it or you hate it. There's no in between. But this is the final season of Big Mouth. I do believe there's no plans for Human Resources 3, but this is going to be the final season. And it's going to be, don't get me wrong, I think it's just going to be sad to see these characters go because you've seen them grow up. You've seen them go through all these trials and tribulations as a kid. And, one of the big things about Big Mouth is that even though it is silly, it's outrageous, but it does tackle anxiety, depression, going through changes really well, and it hits it right on the nose. But yeah, it's the final season. Time to say goodbye. Very much like I have with BoJack Horseman. I watched BoJack Horseman all the way, and that last season was a bit sad to say goodbye again to these characters that you've grown up for so long. But yes, there are no release date, but it is coming out this year. My next pick is Penguin. So Penguin is the HBO Max TV show spin-off from the Matt Reeves universe. Now, unfortunately, again, this did have to be delayed. Because of the strikes and all of that, but that is coming out this year. Now, obviously, of course, Penguin is played by Colin Farrell, which in the Batman, but that is coming. And this is meant to show the Penguin after the aftermath of what happened in the Batman, and see his rise to how he become head of all these gangs, how he becomes a potential character that we used to see commonly in the comics. So, let alone seeing the Penguin go back into this, for me, it's just going back into the Matt Reeves universe before we get the Batman 2. Batman 2, 2025. That's what we're meant to be getting with Superman Legacy. But yeah, no release date. Will be released on HBO Max for Australia. It most likely will be binge for us. My next pick is Echo, which, as I'm recording this, is coming out next week. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it looks like shit. It looks like awful. I don't know why you're excited for this. I'm going to tell you why I'm excited for Echo is because the fact that not only are we getting the MA 15 plus rating, not only is all the episodes dropping 5 episodes, we get Kingpin back. We're getting Daredevil back into this bloody. And just this week, it also confirmed that Marvel also confirmed, thanks to a little short promo, is that the Daredevil TV series is currently canon in the MCU, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, it was already canon. It doesn't matter. No, we're basically just getting a full confirmation on this instead of just speculating all the time, going, is it or isn't it? But we are getting it. I just really hope that from what we've seen from the trailers, the promos, that this does live up to the hype, because this looks like intense. This is like bloody, and Echo was a fantastic character that we got in Hawkeye. But that is one of my top picks. Another one is Invincible Season 2, the second half of Invincible Season 2. The first half was great. Yes, I'm absolutely pissed off the fact that we only got half of it, and it got split up like a Netflix TV show. Yes, that pisses me off, but we're going to get it. Yeah, it's going to be definitely bloody, right up your alley, mate. Right up your alley. But yeah, Invincible Season 2 is coming. There again, no release date, but I'm hoping to say March Fingers crossed. And my number one pick, which it doesn't matter if you're a superhero fan, it doesn't matter if you're fatigued about it or this or that, you cannot miss season 4 of The Boys dropping this year. Not only are we going to see the characters from Gen V appear into it, but it is going to be brutal, intense, and The Boys writing is off the charts. Every season has been strength to strength, and the fact is that we're very similar to what we could be getting is the whole like Lex Luthor becoming president with Homeland becoming president, going, oh, that would be insane to see. It is going to be, I can't wait. I really can't wait. It just shit me up the wall. Again, we don't have a release date, but if we look back on both the Gen V and the previous seasons of The Boys, it is most likely just going to be like June, July, roughly, just because of the blood. Actually, it's funny. Actually, the last 3 shows, Invincible, Echo, and The Boys I've just mentioned, are all going to be bloody and intense. So yeah, I'm looking more forward to that aspect. But The Boys season 4 is a no question. We can't miss it. Yes, it's going to be shitty because again, it's going to do episode 1 week by week, like how they always do. But I'm all for it, especially what could be happening to Butcher. Now, this is the top video games that you cannot miss for this year. One of them being Star Wars Outlaws. Again, it doesn't have a definitive release date, but that's coming. This is an open world Star Wars game that's coming this year that we got a trailer for last year, which looks really good. And it looks like it's going to be, scoundrel, Han Solo type of character where you're going to have to go, trying to survive, taking on outlaws, no pun intended, but, gritty kind of type of style. There was a game that was meant to be coming out years ago, and I think it's not a sequel, maybe take a slight blueprint to or slight inspiration for. There was a game called Star Wars 1313, and it was meant to be a young Boba Fett on Coruscant dealing with the underworld. And from that trailer, it looks very similar elements that we are going to be getting. But it's just, again, it shits me the fact we don't have a release date. But this is on the horizon, and this looks good. Another one is Jurassic Park Survival. Again, no release date, coming this year. But if you've ever played Alien Isolation, you're in for a treat. You're really going to like this. And when I saw the trailer, heard the iconic music, take my money. Take my money. This is going to be good. Well, I hope it's going to be good. It looks good. And it's obviously going to be on PlayStation. Obviously, it's not going to be hard-hitting action. This is going to be more of a slower aspect game. So keep that in mind. But Jurassic Park Survival is one of my top picks for this year. Now, another one, because I'm a little bit of... I really do like city building games, like Surviving Mars, Surviving the Aftermath, Command and Conquer. We really need a new Command and Conquer. City Skylines. Now, City Skylines is very much like a SimCity type of game. We got that last year, but it was only released on PC. They are going to be releasing it this year on console. They just want extra time to get everything right, but I'm all for City Skylines. The first game was really good. From what I've seen from the trailers and the gameplay, this looks like a massive step up. It does ship me the fact that they pushed back the console, but I understand quietly. Next one is Skull and Bones. So Skull and Bones is right around the corner. However, in saying that, probably for this is that it looks good. I like Sea of Thieves. Go be a pirate. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This has been in development hell for a very long time. I'm really looking forward to this, but at the same time, I'm keeping my expectations low because I've heard a lot of mixed emotions from people saying, A, the world is really big, it's fantastic, but it's hollow, to the fact that the gameplay can become quite boring for anyone who has played it. So I really do hope that isn't the case, but we are going to be playing it and we are going to be reviewing it, so stay tuned for that. Now, next on my hit list is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, if you ever played Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, they are pinnacle of Dragon Ball Z games. The amount of characters, the action, in-game transformations, the story, everybody loved it. I haven't had one person who hates that trilogy of games. Well, welcome to Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, which is your spiritual sequel to that franchise. It's going to it leaked on how many characters that are going to be in the game, which is a massive list. But that is coming out this year. No release date. I'm a massive Dragon Ball fan, and the fact that it's going back to those roots, I'm so excited for. And you can't miss this. This is going to be so much fun. Bet you they won't do the split screen again, like the previous games. Probably won't do that. Another one is South Park Snow Day. Now, the reason why I'm really looking forward to this one is because the fact that A, I'm a big South Park fan, and B, South Park, Stick of Truth, and Fractured Butthole were perfect 10 out of 10 games. And so I have no doubt that for this one, it will have a lot of legs to it, and it will, it may not reach the same heights as those two games because this is slightly different. But from the gameplay trailer, this looks like there's going to be a whole bunch of fun. This is coming out in March, which basically looks like it's a combat strategy type of game, which Snow Day in the South Park universe. How are you going to say no? Now, another pick is called Pacific Drive. Now, this is a game that it's a survival game. You have a car. You're going to this island where these really weird monsters are happening, and there's an electrical storm, and it's basically you and your car, and you have to keep your car in check, repairs, and get all the material to get off the island and find out what's causing the storm and why these monsters appear. Now, every time you go fix your car, something does happen and more monsters appear, so it's a massive survival game. The best thing is that when I did see this trailer for this game, I thought it was only going to be for PC, but then I saw it's going to be on PlayStation and PlayStation, so I am all for it. Something a little bit different, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and especially if you're survival and you really do love your car. Damn right, Goku. I can't wait for Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Damn right. And the fact that Dragon Ball Super, Jiren, all those characters are going to be in it. It's going to be awesome. Now, my next one. Now, I would call this a technicality, if you will. A technicality. Hypercharge Unboxed. Now, this game has already been released. It's been out for a few years, but it's currently only on Steam and on the Switch. It will be releasing on Xbox this year. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer for this particular game, this is going to take you back to those old PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games where you could have split screen up to 2 to 3 to 4 different players on the one screen. It is like Call of Duty meets Toy Story, Small Soldiers kind of style. And the reason why I'm really looking forward to this game is I'm just looking for something that's simple, fun, and I can invite my friends over and we can have a good time, have a split screen. What I find so funny is that split screen games completely has died, yet the TVs have gotten bigger, more prepped for it. So we all remember playing split screen on a small, tiny little box. And now we have this massive TV and you can't play split screen. Like Call of Duty doesn't do it anymore, and that shits me up the wall. But I've already told my mates that you shall not say that. I don't know which part. You're telling me not to say. But yeah, Hypercharge Unboxed. It's meant to be coming out this year. The creators have said the fact that currently right now they're just figuring out a release date. The game is good to go. I'm really excited for this. But if you're looking for just a shooter, have friends come over with different styles. I think it's about 5 or 6 different maps. It looks so much fun. And for my number one pick is Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. It annoyed me the fact this game got delayed, but I hope, there's always bad delays and good delays. Hopefully this is a good delay. There's a lot of people who are ripping on this because, the combat looks shit and this. I'm like, no, look, the combat's combat. To me, it looks like a lot of fun. And the fact that it's going to be set in the Arkhamverse. This is the last time Kevin Conroy voices Batman, which is going to be so emotional going into this. And it's the same crew. It's Rocksteady who are making this. So even though the combat might be a little bit shocky, the story, I have no doubt, is going to have massive legs to this, and it's going to get you through it. I'm very curious to know where Aquaman is in the trailer. We haven't seen one of them, but of course, Brainiac taking over the world, Metropolis. You have to go attack the Justice League, kill them, sorry. How are you going to say no? How are you going to say no? And I saw that if you pre-order it, you can also get the iconic skins for King Shark and for Harley Quinn, for Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang, which I think is really cool. Now, look, these are my top picks for this year. Now, there is going to be sleeper hits. My biggest question, when I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and we said the fact, unlike last year, yes, Game of the Year was Baldur's Gate, but, we had Spider-Man 2, and when Spider-Man 2, we knew that was coming out, okay, that's most likely going to be Game of the Year. But for this year, it's anyone's game, no pun intended, on what could be Game of the Year. Very much could be the brand new Final Fantasy. But I feel like it's going to be more of a sleeper hit that's going to take that. So we'll get the Summer Gamer Fest in June. They'll probably give us a little bit more clarification on all the games I just mentioned that don't have a release date. So we'll definitely be recovering that. And and the TV shows, what's going to be great? Well, obviously one TV show I didn't mention that you can miss is Halo Season 2. I feel like that's going to be another absolute bomb of a TV show, just like Season 1. That I have no doubt. And for the movie, for the top movie for this year, I don't know. I feel like the thing is probably with the for Best Picture, it can be something very small. It can be very large. That's a bit more vague of the Best Picture. But right now, I feel like Game of the Year is really vague and what could be the Game of the Year. Could be Star Wars Outlaws. It could be anything, but you got to keep that in mind for all that. But the most of all, what I want to know is what movie are you most looking forward to? What TV show you're most looking forward to? And what video game are you really looking forward to? And what is something that you've seen announced, or you're like, that's going to be absolute shit, or that's awful, and I'm going to miss it entirely? For me, I'm still going to watch Halo Season 2, but to me, I'm going to be like, no, thank you. Can you tell me a joke? Joke. I'm trying to think of a joke. Besides the Joker. I can't really think of one. I'm trying to think of one that I can tell you that's not that is PG. Why is Peter Pan always flying? Because he never lands. I can hear the crickets. That's probably that's one. That was probably a terrible joke, but I've got a lot of jokes in my mind that I can't say on an episode like this. Man, you made me laugh my funny bone out. Oh, well, if it's true, that's great. If it's not, I appreciate the help. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think your most picks are going to be, and what's going to be, what do you think is going to be the sleeper hit of this year? And I would like to say thank you very much to everyone who's come past and listening as well. I appreciate every single one of you. And get ready for this year. We're going to be covering everything that we can, movies, TV shows, and video games, to get you up to date so you don't miss, as I said, you don't miss a single thing. And we're going to tell you from what's really good and what's a giant pile of shit. Don't you worry. And until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.